In the style world, we often talk about shoes that every man needs.
True.
Today we're going to talk about shoes that a man doesn't need.
Yep.
But if you're into style, then you might have fun with these different pairs. So, Antonio, you said that day to day you're a little boring with your footwear.
Yeah. I'm a father. I've got 7 kids, 2 of my nephews. I've got 4 girls, and I'm moving them I just need something that gives me good traction, gets me from point A to point B, that works with my uniform. So usually I am wearing a dark colored Chelsea. That's like my go-to. And I've got a variety from different companies that I wear, and I get so many companies that send me shoes. I'm constantly though rotating and testing. But if I'm traveling for work, I will grab, especially if nowadays it's me usually speaking at an event or going to a conference. I'll have a little bit of fun and I'll bring a pair of shoes that
a little out of the ordinary.
A little bit out of the ordinary. But that's maybe once every couple months.
Okay, so we're going to start with a pair of suede derby shoes.
Yep.
So this pair we have right here are in this beautiful bottle green color.
Yep.
I think every time you add suede and you add texture, just like with this knit tie, just gives the eye something more interesting to look at. And it really grabs people's attention, but it also does make the outfit a bit more casual.
It does.
So with this kind of pair, can you think about a time that you've worn these? Or maybe not, because they're very clean on the bottom.
I have not
this is the one pair you haven't worn these.
This is one of the pairs that I have not worn. So I had picked these up, and I don't remember what company I worked with, but I've usually got multiple pairs, so don't fault me. But no, this pair I would say it's going to go with a very casual outfit. I could see wearing this with no-show socks, with a pair of shorts. You could also just simply wear a tropical weight wool trousers. They're very lightweight, and in general, suede is going to be something that you would wear during the warmer months. The color again here makes this very casual. The material makes this casual. The overall style, some guys may say, "Oh, it looks like a dress shoe." You pointed out rightly, it's a derby. It has, basically, it does not have, closed versus open lacing systems. This is an open lacing system, therefore, and that's basically where the back quarter goes on top of the vamp. Casual, fun. You could wear this with jeans, but I think it wouldn't really work out. The texture in the jeans, I would wear something with a smoother type of wool or maybe even a cotton chino. That would look good as well.
Yeah, I think if you went for a brown derby, that's something you could wear a little more formally with a casual suit. Yep. There's an outfit in one of the Bond movies where Sean Connery is wearing a hacking jacket, a pair of wool trousers, and then he has a pair of brown derby shoes as well. So I think once you already own a leather pair of derbies and you've got your Oxfords, then this is something to look at.
Yeah.
Next, we are going to move on. So this next shoe is something that a lot of people in the style community would say is essential.
A lot of young men.
A lot of young men, yeah. I used to be of that opinion. These days, I don't own any white sneakers, and I don't feel like there's a need to own them. I've also gone even more formal as time's gone by. But what do you think of wearing a white sneaker, especially for a man of your generation? Is this a shoe that you would frequently pull out?
I do videos on a man dressing his age, and in general, I'm not going to recommend, but you guys should be able to wear whatever you want. I always say these channels and what we talk about here, we try to give you the basic rules and guidelines, but when you understand them, you can break them, you can do whatever you want. So why are even white shoes popular? Because you think about it, functionality, they're not very practical because they're more likely to get dirty. Not always the case. And what I like about this white right here is it is leather, and so it's going to be resistant to some staining, dirt. You're going to be able to clean these up, but usually it is that pop. It is that grabbing attention, especially in a very mundane outfit. And that's why so many young men like this, is because it is an attention-grabbing piece of the footwear. That being said, piece of footwear. That being said, an older guy, 50s, 60s, could definitely pull this off if you wanted to go for a younger look, but it's always going to be casual. My son, I know, wore a pair like this with a suit, and I think a young man can experiment and can have fun and can break the rules, especially if he's got the confidence. But, there's some classic, is it Smith?
Stan Smith.
Yeah, Stan Smiths are classics. They're going to be, I think, they got canvas, and they have, I don't know if they've got
Mine were
leathers.
leather when I had the Stan Smiths. Okay. Leather, yeah.
Yeah, so canvas is going to be, you'll see this in canvas as well. That's going to be much more casual, and definitely you want to keep it in that realm. But I think they're fine. I would gear towards something that is a darker color. I just find that would work for my wardrobe, and I think for an older man,
I agree.
Is going to be easier to wear.
Yeah, for my dad, I tell him he needs to get the ones with the brown leather
on
the top. But I think for a young guy, if you wear these with a suit, it can look really cool, especially if you don't want to look too conservative.
The point is,
in
it's
suits.
going for a pop. And you know that people are going to notice this, and they're going to say, oh, here's a young man where he's dressing well with a suit, but he's still wanting to keep it young, full of energy. And to me, that's what the signal, that this sends.
I find that they're actually quite warm on your feet, though. The leather sneaker. I find a loafer is much more cool. So that's why I find this a little bit redundant these days. Unlike the next shoe that we're going to talk about, which is the perforated loafer. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are wearing loafers already, but could you tell me a little bit about the perforation and how this helps keep everything cool?
Well, pretty simple. I mean, you have holes in the leather. That's what we're talking about here. And this goes back, hundreds of years. The idea here with holes in leather on a pair of shoes is that you could walk through a marsh, you could walk through a wet area if you're out hunting, and the water would go right through and the shoes would dry faster. But in a hot climate, this works out pretty well because you literally, as you're walking, you've got air that's being displaced, being able to go in and out. Not a whole lot because they actually need to maintain the form and the of the shoe itself. But a pair of shoes like this, I think I picked these up in Ukraine years ago. I really like them. I have them actually in a few colors. So you grabbed actually one of the really, I think these have maintained their shape and their overall look pretty well. But they are glued and you will find a lot of perforated shoes are not made to last because these uppers will over time fall apart. But if you can get a few seasons of wear out of these, then they probably more than paid for themselves. I also bought these. One advantage of glue, I know a lot of you guys don't like. You want to go with Goodyear welted or you want to go with Blake stitched shoes. But one nice thing about glued inexpensive shoes like this is that they are incredibly lightweight and they're just going to be cooler and sometimes easier to wear, especially if you're going to wear them around town. You're going to be wearing them at the beach, wearing them on a hot summer day.
Yeah, it's a little bit like we were talking about espadrilles earlier. Shoes that are meant for the summer, you wear them maybe 1 year, 2 years, don't spend too much money on them, throw them away, and then find another pair.
Now, you did ask a question about those perforated leathers, wearing them with socks or without.
With socks.
I often wear them without socks, but understand that if you do that, the oils and the sweat off of your feet are going to deeper penetrate the leather. Usually your socks would absorb a lot of that, but every time you're not wearing them with socks, so it kind of takes away from the life of them. But if you're wearing them every day and I wear them without socks, FYI, but you could wear them with a pair of no-show socks and that would probably be ideal.
So otherwise they'll stink and they'll fall apart.
They'll probably stink anyway, but just use they've got sprays and you can clean them.
So the next pair, I'm not really going to talk about the style of the shoe too much. It's more about the idea of having a bold leather. So we have a very vivid cherry red here, which I think is beautiful. You could also get something like a petrol blue or an emerald green that would look great. The style of this shoe, we've got the double monks, and it's kind of like a chucker boot really up here, So this is a kind of shoe that it takes a bit of confidence to wear. Yeah. What kind of occasions would you recommend somebody to pull this off with?
So I wear these oftentimes with a suit. I do think that they are nice. I had these custom made for me with a company years ago, and I love the overall look, the double monk. Yeah, we're not talking about the style so much, but the color. And a lot of you guys out there just go for black and you think it's boring. All your shoes maybe are black. An area that you can explore, a color that will work with all of your belts and everything is actually oxblood, or I think this cherry red. The way I know this is because all the accents are black, and that's a quick shortcut if you're ever wondering if a shoe's going to work in your wardrobe. And by the way, brown and black do go together because if you ever look at the base, the sole of a black or a brown shoe, it's oftentimes black, so you can make it work. But for some of you guys that want to expand out of black, I do think that this is a bold, fun choice. It's going to work. You can wear it with a black belt. Don't worry about matching it. And it's just going to simply look good. And it's going to pop. Wear this, though, with a suit that you're not trying to, no bold patterns on the suit. Understand that this will be what's going to get you compliments and get you attention. And when you wear a bold color, especially in a pair of footwear, understand that this is the piece that's going to draw the eye. So your pocket square, go simple, maybe with a presidential fold. With your tie, keep it muted. With what you're wearing right here, if you were to be wearing these shoes, it would look great. It would have the outfit pop. And I know you've said sometimes people, they assume because you dress like this, that you're a vanilla, that you are just, a suit kind of guy. A pair of shoes like this, all of a sudden women notice. Other men that are into style notice. because we pay attention to shoes. They're an endpoint when we look somebody up and down, and just fun pair of shoes.
This would be a great out on the town pair of shoes, going dancing. It's the kind of shoes that songs are written about, like blue suede shoes. There's a reason there's a song written about that, because the way that you would feel when you wear these shoes is just something else compared to a typical brown or black leather shoe. Now, moving on a little bit, I wanted to talk about these. So really what I want to address here is the patina leather and how it's creating
the polish
this,
and everything we've got in there.
Two-tone effect. So how would you say this goes similarly to the bold leather shoe, and maybe some different situations that you would wear this one in?
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic, as you guys see, like a closed lacing system. So it is a dressier shoe, but the color, the two-tone on this, the polish, and oftentimes what they do is they start with one color, then they bring in a polish that's a particular color, and they'll finish it. These I know were finished over in Italy. And I actually have never worn these because, funny enough, I only have one. I think maybe I've got both of them, but it was the wrong size. It was Ace Mark's signature collection years ago. But it's a great looking pair of shoes. These, similar to the last one though, they're going to be the attention grabbers. Keep your outfit muted. This is what is going to draw everybody's eyes to. You're going to get compliments on them, and it's fun, especially when you want to change up. You've already got all black shoes or all brown shoes in your wardrobe. You want to bring in something that's going to draw a little bit of the eyes and attention. And the lighter color, though, that will make these casual, but you could still wear them with a dark colored suit. Although with a light colored suit like a gray, like this would definitely be, it would give energy to that outfit.
Yeah, it's just not a serious business meeting or a funeral.
You will if it's your business meeting. It's like, hey, and if it's your funeral,
So finally, we have something that I honestly never thought I would talk about on my channel, because for a British person, wearing cowboy boots seems a little bit ridiculous, but I'm kind of coming round to the idea slowly, because the thing is, you can actually wear these with a suit.
Yeah, well, the history is English, and it's the Wellington, which you probably are familiar with.
I used to wear them all the time.
Yeah, Wellingtons. And so they brought these to the United States in, we're talking like 1820s, 1830s. You still see a lot of people who had immigrated to the United States coming here for opportunity wearing riding boots, and that's initially where it started. Now, the idea with a Western boot, and a cowboy boot, Western boot, whatever you want to call it. And there's variations of Western boots, ropers, which are a very easy wear. But the idea here is the heel. So first up, why do we have a heel like this on any type of riding boot? It's so that you sit right in the stirrup and you keep your foot there. And it's a natural end point for that. So Western boots, cowboy boots, they usually have about 1 inch to 2 inches. You'll see Cuban, and this is more in the Cuban heel that we'll see over in Chelsea's and stuff like that. We'll see sometimes 2 inches. But that heel is important for being able to fit right in there. Also, you're going to notice the point right here. This is for getting and for being able to get right into that stirrup. Up here, we've got the top part of the shaft. This is traditionally protection. So you'll see if a cowboy or anyone riding a horse, horses, if you've ever ridden one, they will sometimes, they'll do their own thing. And they don't care that you're on the back of them, and they're going to go through some brush. And I grew up in West Texas, so we have mesquite trees. Man, those things have thorns that are like this long. They will go right into your leg. But leather like this would protect the upper part of your leg. And if you look at like buckaroos and people that really know and they wear the longer shaft, that will protect, almost half the leg right there. So you'll also see on modern Western boots, especially ones that people are wearing for fashion or for style purposes, they will put a lot of style and thought into decorating the shaft. And so if you go over like Rocket Buster boots out of El Paso, they actually it's like a work of art. And those boots sell for like $15,000 to $20,000 because they're one of a kind, and you have an artist that'll work like 6 months on a pair of boots like that. Now, another thing you'll notice with Western boots, which makes them really interesting, is there's no laces. And the reason being is the foot should be able to go in and out. And a big part of it, and similar to Wellingtons, if you're riding, you don't want to get dragged by the horse. Many people have died historically, just simply being dragged by horses because their foot gets caught. And you want the boot to be able to slip right off and for you to be able to not get dragged by the horse. Functionality is first, and they do a great job, but stylistically, this is a great looking boot, especially if a man has confidence. I grew up in Midland, Texas, around horses. That being said, it was something that I kind of rejected that. It's funny, as a kid, like I'd be the guy out there riding horses in sneakers, but I should have been wearing this. And now when I think about my heritage, I'm able to kind of go back to this, and I know I can pull this off with a suit, but more likely I'm going to pull it off with a dark pair of denim with a sports jacket. But for anyone, maybe you grew up in Long Island, but you have always been a cowboy at heart. I do think that, yeah, you could pull off a pair of Western boots. Find something that suits you. If you want something, if you're going to wear it with a suit, go with a darker color, maybe matched similar color to what you would wear, or even a little bit darker than normally your shoes. Lighter colored boots are harder to wear and usually are going to be more casual. But going with the classic Western, just make sure the shaft fits you close and that it doesn't push too much on the lower part of the trousers that you're wearing.
I think there's two ways you can wear this.
Okay.
You have the country outfit like you were describing with the jeans and the tweed jacket.
Yeah.
Actually, what Ralph Lauren wears a lot as well.
Yeah.
He's a guy from the Bronx, so you don't have to be a country person
Exactly.
to do that. Or you can do what I've seen Leonard Cohen used to do this, Nick Cave used to do it, an urban look where you're wearing a suit, sometimes a black suit, a black pair of cowboy boots. It's a bit of a rock star kind of look.
Yeah,
so.
You've got to have confidence to be able to pull this look off. And if you ever want to practice, what I recommend to people that want to learn how to wear hats, maybe a piece of jewelry, is to wear it around your house. Yes, wear your Western boots in your house with your suit. You're working from home, doesn't matter. It's going to put you in the right state of mind. But here's the deal. You're going to need to go out, run errands. You're going to say, I don't have time to change, or you're not even going to think about it because you're going to become so used to what you're wearing, and you're going to wear that clothing out. And all of a sudden, you're going to realize, oh, no turning back now. And you're going to get a compliment. Someone's going to say, love it, man. You love the look. All of a sudden, you're going to feel, 2 inches taller. Now, you probably are 2 inches taller because you got the heels on. But, for a lot of people, they just absolutely love Western boots. And once you start wearing them, you realize how comfortable they can be. And, just a great pair of great pair of shoes.
I would imagine they make you feel confident as well. If you're already feeling a little underconfident, put a pair of these on. It's going to be hard not to.
Yeah.
Also, with any boots that are super sturdy, when they just feel so secure on your feet, it gives you that extra pound in your stride, and it's hard not to feel confident when you have that. Absolutely. So guys, those were our 6 pairs of shoes that you don't need, but you might want. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the most unusual pair of shoes in your collection and how you like to wear them? Antonio, thank you so much for doing this video with me. I'll see you guys in the next one.